I met a gypsy.
What was it like racing Jeremy as a kid? Like, did you know, when you know someone when they're young and then you see what they accomplished in their life, when you look back, does it make sense?
Not to the degree that he got to, probably not. I mean, Jeremy was great on a BMX bike too, but he wasn't like, crazy, just smashing people, winning everything like he did in Supercross. No. But we were young. I don't remember exactly what age, he got out of BMX, but it was probably 13 or 14, somewhere right around there, because I remember going to his house to ride motorcycles. Like, he had the track, at his parents' house on the freeway, and going there, a couple of years into his career, and he was way better than us then on a motorcycle. He was riding every day, but yeah, I mean, to see where he took that was, it was awesome. Super proud of him and everything he's accomplished, and to just have that lifelong friendship I've had with him. Yeah,
it's crazy when you do know someone for so long.
Yeah,
and like you see, but some people, it just makes sense where you're like, even like the Showtime thing, where it's like, oh, he was always like that, and you can kind of see their personality play out on that kind of scale, but it's amazing what BMX did for his foundations. And then Cole Seeley is another guy that grew up racing a lot of BMX and riding a lot of BMX, and like Hayden Deegan spent a lot of time riding BMX. It's it's not a secret.
No.
There's so many guys that made it in that, or like had a foundation in that did super well when it came to Supercross.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to the podcast you did with Jeremy, and I mean, if you asked me all those same questions you asked Jeremy, my answers probably would have been almost identical to everything Jeremy said. I mean, he's awesome, but I know he said in that podcast, like on a BMX bike, you don't have suspension, you're on 20-inch wheels, like you have to be perfect. You can't OJ shit, on a BMX bike, or it gets bad real quick. So you have to be precise, and as you know, he was always way more precise than everybody, and Cole was, maybe too precise, right? Cole was always super smooth, and we would go to Sheep Hills, which is just literally right down the street here. I don't know if you've ever been.
I've never been there. I want to go at some point. I'd love to build. I need to do a bit of mountain bike building in my life. I need to get some bikes going. I'd love to get a little dirt jumper for like some pump tracks and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure Villapoto has one. Like, I remember a few years ago, he was like, Lopes, really? I want to build up a pump track bike, blah, blah, blah. And he built one up, and I don't think he's ever used it.
Never rode it. Well, he doesn't ever answer his phone, so good luck trying to get it.
Right.
Yeah, good luck trying to get it out of him.
We'll just go over his house.
Just clip it from him. But yeah, I mean, there's such a solid fundamentals in it, and it's just been proven in a bunch of different people.
Yeah. I mean, it's the foundation for everything. It's funny when I don't know, like you're on a road ride or even a cross country ride, people that have gotten into cycling a little bit later in life, and they don't have those fundamentals that you learn as a kid. I do a lot of not a lot, but I do skills coaching just like on the side. I train a couple of kids like full time.
Yeah.
But I also, take on random people who just want like a day lesson or a half day lesson. And, the number one thing is these people, they're 30, 40-year-old person. They only have an hour or 2 hours, right? They just want to go ride.
Yeah.
They don't want to like spend, an hour or two like trying to figure out how to do a wheelie or how to bunny hop up a curb, right? And that's what we did as kids, right?
Yeah.
We just came over from school and we're like, let's go to the jumps, spend all day there, right? Like, so you figure out and you learn all these like basic fundamentals. And it's funny when I go with people who don't have that youth on a bicycle and they don't know how to bunny hop a curb, right? You're like, you don't know how to bunny hop a curb?
That's day one.
Yeah, like, dude, like, I mean, for me, that's just like safety kind of riding, right? What happens if you get pinched up a curve? You need to know how to bunny hop it, right? Like,
have you seen some crazy wrecks on road bikes with dudes that just don't have those skills?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they happen
just because it's going to be a wreck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, people are crossing wheels, or, there's a lot of etiquette when it comes to riding road bikes. But yeah, I've seen some gnarly crashes, and man, knock on wood, I've never had any big crashes on the road.
Man, we had this dude where there was a few years ago, like I was doing a fair bit of riding, but then I kind of like moved away from the hill, and I was like, my bike just became a milk run bike after that. But we were doing a bunch of riding. We went down to one of the trails in Noosa, which is like north of the Gold Coast on the Sunshine Coast. They got awesome trails there, but there's like most of the ride would just be like a tarmac climb, and then you'd kind of go down the fingers of the trails. And they use it for luging. Like, it's a closed road, so there's so many cyclists on it. And I hadn't thought about this dude's crash until you said, like, a lot of people just didn't go out riding bikes. Because we're on the outside of the road, and this dude just comes flying down the road. And we were, like, riding 3 wide kind of thing. You can't see any of the corners around. And so this guy just comes around. We're 3 wide but on our side of the lane, and he's just fully seen us and just turned right instead of trying to keep going left into this cliff and just obliterated himself, dude. Smashed his bike to bits, fully shattered his helmet. He was fine. Like, he was all right. He starts like yelling at us, and we're like, bro, you were never stopping for this corner. But it makes sense. Like, he probably just never grew up riding a bike.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure you've at some point seen some of these Tour de France crashes, big stage race. I mean, dude, they're gnarly. There's, and those guys are pretty much naked, right? They're not wearing anything other than a little helmet.
And the helmets are tiny, dude.
Yeah. They're brutal. I mean, especially, those final sprint crashes, gnarly. They're going fast, 40-something miles an hour.
That sport almost doesn't make sense. Like, did you watch the Netflix thing on it?
A little bit.
Was it good?
Yeah. I think, especially for like the average person, right? I think it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. It's probably be pretty interesting, but that's a psycho sport.
Yeah.
Like, the drugs you have to do, the miles you have to, like, to sign, like, I got a friend, he was on like a kind of a B tier Italian cycling team, and he literally got on the team, but before he signed with the team, they were like, okay, so here's the drugs you have to do, here's the doctor, like, just fully.
What year was that?
He's my age, so like, it wasn't that long ago, maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were fully just like, all right, here's the program.
Wow.
Like, you got to jump on. And he was like, all right, sweet.
Yeah,
He was like, man, it was crazy.
Yeah, I thought that, that whole drug era was kind of behind that sport.
I don't know.
I'm sure, there's always going to be somebody who wants to cheat, or, like somebody who's trying to outsmart the system, be ahead of the system, bend the rules, whatever it is. But I know it's gotten harder and harder, right? They're trying to make it clean. So I think especially, from back in the, back in the days of Lance days, right? It's definitely a lot cleaner than those days.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.